What's up?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you. What's up?
ESM cast, interviewing Neil Diamonds. Hello, Neil.
Great to be here.
Let's see. Can you hear me all right? Let's get that out of the way.
Yes.
All right. Party.
How you doing, E-Dog?
I'm actually having a pretty shitty day, but it's all good now. It's like this is the high point of my career, so.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, I mean.
What happened in your day?
It was an awkward day. I've been trying to go see Whip It with Ellen Page since it came out on Friday, and it still hasn't happened. It's causing a lot of depression, cause
I don't know what that is. I just know that old drug.
It's probably an American thing. I don't know if she's from Canada, but it's probably not a big deal in Canada.
All right. Okay. Never mind. Sorry for the delay. I had to. The Oilers went into overtime and then a shootout, and we won. So I'm in a good mood.
I don't know what an Oiler or a shootout is, so I guess we're even as far as not understanding how each other's day went.
You don't? Okay. Well, anyways, that's a totally different. But yes.
So before I come with any of the really good shit, Ed wanted me to ask you, I don't know which cover it was specifically he wanted to know about, but I know he wanted to know if the cover of I think Dance Extreme, is that the one with like the little girl covered in
Yes.
Yes. He wanted to know where that came from.
That was actually my friend Ashley showed me that the girl from Glorious Tribute. She somehow found it. I think she was working, or no, her friend was working in a used bookstore, and they came across this. It's an ABC's children's book from about the 1930s, I think, 30s or 40s, and so it had everything from A to Z, of course, and then but all the little girls were dressed like far too sexy for for nowadays, and like the really scantily clad 4-year-olds and stuff I had probably about 10 different letters or options to choose from, and the one of the little girl with the mud that ended up looking like shit ended up being the one I picked. But
all right, there you go, Edward. You
wanted to have a sexy underage girl.
You can stop saying that's Google image search, Edward. Myth debunked, sir. I want to know personally where the cover of Bonecock Volume 1 came from.
Oh, that's stolen outright from another old, I believe it's a 50s children's record called Sparky and His Magic Piano.
Okay.
Which,
so that
listen to it. It's totally insane. It was the first version of it predates the vocoder, but it was the first instrument, let's say, that where you could take a human voice and modulate it to play the notes that are playing on a piano board. And it just sounds really creepy because it's this little kid talking to his piano, and the piano's like, but anyway.
So, that leads into, I guess, are any of the covers of any of the CDs not stolen?
Well, the Chinchilla album is obviously me, and then
Are you sure?
Early Years is me, and well, it's me and the rest of the old band, and yeah, minus a little bit of Photoshop trapping, yeah, those other two are real.
All right. All right. I'll accept that. I'm not really sure where I was going with that line of questioning. Okay. I've got this. Other than like the
What was the myth that he was debunked?
he just wanted to know where that came from, and I think he thought it was just like some picture that was found on the internet, and obviously.
Oh, no, I actually, it was scanned in from the book. I have the rest of the book here, but.
All right.
Okay, anyways, but.
In your face. Well, let's see. Yeah. Other than like mindless self-indulgence and the obvious ones,
The obvious ones as in bands?
yeah, like I know Babyland and MSI and all of those, but like what's some more what are some influences of yours that people might not actually already know?
Well, you know, there's that song, the Uncle Outrage song that was on Bonecock, the I'm the Line Junksters Mega Mix.
Yes.
There was, when I'm not gonna say growing up, but like in junior high and high school, all of those bands were people that I just like looked up to as gods, basically, and so like Erotic Golf, The O, Betty's Trash, which is now Stop King James, basically, and then like there was also Beetle Shaped Kite and Big Sexy Shack.
Is that a real band?
I'm trying to list off obscure bands to sound hardcore, but this was like at the time that was a little circle of bands that are in the same genre as like what we are in now, like with Vincent Claude, Electric Suicide, and you guys, and not me, and everything. But like, yeah, at the time I thought that they were like gods, and basically, and like by the time the album came out and that they agreed to do the song, even though some parts of the song didn't end up going the way I wanted to, it was just like I was blown away that I was actually becoming part of the scene. So.
Okay.
Oh, but yeah, and the Erotic Golf, the girl singer, the guy who was also in that band was H. Chris, who is now on. He's in a band that's apparently famous in the States. They're not famous here, but called Fake Problems.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, they're supposedly getting pretty big in the States, and yeah, I did a song with him a long time ago that never got released because it was terrible. It was called Poop Boobs Deluxe.
Oh, okay. Wow. Let's see. What is it?
I sort of strayed off of your question, but yeah, other than that, like Tracy and the Plastics, Evo, and like the punk bands like Crass and Flux the Pink Indians.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think of If, the album entitled If? I don't know. You might have heard it.
By the Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Yeah.
Well, I can say it was much better than another mindless ripoff. For sure. I actually, besides about like 6 tracks on there, I really liked it. I don't know. It's obviously a lot more poppy than like Frankenstein Girls Are Tight, but I thought it was pretty damn good.
All right.
You have beef with it?
I actually dislike it more because they ruined songs that were already great than the songs that are on it that are new or terrible. Like, most of the songs that are...
Which songs did they ruin that are great?
Like Revenge, where they added in piano and...
Like, wait, Binge?
Revenge.
Oh, Revenge. Oh, yeah. The live version, I agree, which was much better.
But, I don't know. It gets a lot of heat, and I think now that you've come out and said you like it, except for 6 songs, which is essentially maybe half the CD, I think people will change their opinion.
Really?
Yes, I think people.
I think I pretty much took the song Bullshit literally, so that basically I think he was actually saying that from then on he's basically trying to get famous.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, so if you re-listen to Bullshit, then listen to If. I think it makes sense.
I actually thought Another Mindless Ripoff was really good. I'm probably the only person alive who thinks that, but I thought it was fun.
Preteen Violence is like the worst song ever.
I'm gonna have to disagree. It's not...
If you disagree, we're at a standstill, but that's... yeah.
It's not a ripoff of Nine Inch Nails. That band sucks dick, so...
A ripoff of Nine Inch Nails? What?
Yeah, their self-titled album was just like Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's a step up from that. So I can't say it's their worst song. And
Better than Kick, but yeah.
Frying Pan, I thought that was great.
Oh yeah, there were like two and a half songs I liked on there. Even like 2.5 songs out of there were pretty good, but I did feel ripped off.
I was more put off by the fact that they only sold it at Hot Topic than the CD was not as good as I thought it was going to be. Yeah,
we don't have those in Canada.
In America, it was exclusively at Hot Topic, and they never got them here in West Virginia. I don't know if you know much about the United States, but West Virginia, there's a list that the government has of states in order of how good they are, and West Virginia is number 1. And our Hot Topics did not have that ever, so I had to legally peruse that.
So that's why you're number 1, or is that just a coincidence?
Oh no, it sucks. See, it was a joke. I pretty much fucking hate West Virginia.
Oh.
It's not a cool place to live.
It's okay if I know as little about the states as you probably know about the Northwestern Territories.
Actually, well, not...
Do they even teach that stuff in the States?
About Canada?
About, like, Nunavut and stuff.
No.
Have you ever heard of Nunavut?
No.
Okay, that's like well, it's not a province, it's a territory above the provinces, but it's part of Canada. It's just like where it's so high up that it's all just like Eskimos and stuff, but...
The last time I heard about Canada in school, they were talking about the stimulus bill, and one of my teachers, history teachers, said Canadian healthcare sucks. I tried to disagree with him, but...
No, Canadian healthcare is awesome. It's weird that you brought that up, because, like, I hate Michael Moore, but, like, that Sicko movie really showed me, like, how bad off you guys have it.
It's pretty interesting. We just had a pro-life rally here in West Virginia, and it's funny that most pro-lifers are Republicans who are against free healthcare, but they're pro-life. So no abortions, but the people who are already alive and sick, fuck them.
There's a lot of little dilemmas like that, but yeah, up here we get everything for free. Not like, I mean, medication still costs, like if I had to get a bunch of medication filled, which I do, it will cost like $20 for 5 medications.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and then the doctor's trips to the doctor free, hospital free, like, yeah, so.
I mean,
back to emergency, yeah,
that must be really difficult for Canada because your diet consists of like fish and syrup, so you can't be all that healthy. So like,
my diet mostly just consists of like Booster Juice and McDonald's. So.
Did you just say Booster
Juice?
What is that?
You guys have Booster Juice down there?
No, I'm not. I've never heard of that in my life.
It's just, okay, it's a chain. I thought it was everywhere. They just grind up, what are those things called? Fruits. They grind up fruits with, yogurt. And it's, like a smoothie. So you just walk around with this giant cup and you're sipping fruits out of a giant cup.
I think we have things like that. They're just not named nearly as whimsically as that. I don't know. I'm not a big fruit person.
Oh, I don't eat a lot of fruit either. Just when it's ground up and mixed with yogurt, it's good. But anyway, again, I don't know how we got to here. But
yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Favorite album of all time. I know you probably can't pick, but I'm making you.
Favorite album of all time? Oh, I'm gonna make myself look totally gay and say "Clumsy" by Our Lady Peace.
Ah, Our Lady Peace. Excellent choice. I've never listened to more than 10 minutes of them.
Clumsy. That's a damn good CD. I don't care what anyone says. That's a damn good CD from start to finish.
All right, everybody, go legally purchase that from wherever you legally purchase your music.
No, fuck Rain made it. Go download it. Go download the song Automatic Flowers. Automatic Flowers, Superman's Dead, and what else is another one off there that's good? I think there's a song called Clumsy. Anyway.
I mean, if it's the greatest CD of all time, shouldn't they all be good?
What?
I mean,
the tracks?
Yeah, like if it's the greatest CD of all time.
Those stand out in my mind as the best.
Ah.
Yeah, no, I even covered Superman's Dead. I liked it so much.
Okay. That was a shock. I was expecting maybe personally I would have picked one of my own albums just to seem like a douchebag, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting Our Lady Peace. That was a surprise.
Well, when my hype new shit drops, that'll totally be there. But
yeah. Are you updating every song that's gonna be on that?
No. It's like I know on the track list it'll say updated version and stuff. But in some cases, like it's not as extreme as like what I did to Octopus Angel. I'm just like, what I'll do is just like mix it a little better, or if the singing sucks at one part, I'll just go over and re-record the vocals for that little like one sentence or something, and that's basically an updated version.
I see. Have you ever considered after this album, I know that's like super far into the future, but have you considered taking new tracks and making them sound like the early years?
Yes, I actually did. I've got. I never released it, but for myself and my friends, when the Chinchilla album came out, I also released the Chipmunk album as well. So,
Awesome.
which was basically a brother of the Chinchilla album, except all old school style.
Okay. Let's see. I actually had a lot more good questions than what I've already asked, but I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. I've been staring at this Bonecock artwork on MySpace and this like ad for some anime, and it's causing my brain to like melt. So,
Which art do you mean?
I'm just looking
Cover?
at the cover.
Oh, okay.
I went to look at it to make sure I knew what it was before I asked the question, and
I was going for like Uncle Outrage to sort of look like the Fresh Prince writing. Like I got the colors there. Yeah.
so
No one would ever notice. Anyway.
didn't you have like your final live show a while back?
Yeah, that was. I got the poster in my room. Yeah, it was on last September 20th. So.
And
coming
there's
up to about a year ago.
You're not gonna do any. You're not gonna do.
That was the last show I did with the original lineup, and what I'm doing now is I'm getting together a few more not like dissing my homies or anything, because the band was basically just my best friend. I'm now assembling like a few more talented musicians and like people who are more motivated and like don't want to like just have their 9-to-5 jobs, and like because my problem came down to like the fact that like everybody had a 9-to-5 job or 8-to-5 or whatever the fuck, and the like touring for some people was just like out of the question. So like the best we could do is do like weekend tours and stuff, which was really lame because you can only go so far.
Right. Do you have yourself a 9-to-5 job?
No.
You don't?
No. I had a lot of money stashed away from working on the Tom Green movie, so I'm still living off that.
Oh, okay. Hey, Edward, fuck you, 'cause I told him, I said, you probably don't have a job, and
No,
he said you work in a fucking factory and you're miserable.
I used to work at a box factory with H. Anpols, the guitar player and bass player who used to be there, and H is still working there, and that was basically just assembling boxes and folders. And then I went on to, I stopped that, and I went to basically an audio engineering, like post-secondary school. I did that for a year, and then I took a break and then I worked at Crystal Glass, like car repair, and then I went on and did the Tom Green thing. Freezer Burn movie. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
You haven't had a job for a while though, that's correct?
No, not a long time.
Oh, well, he was saying you are still currently employed, and we had a very long, drawn-out argument about it, and now he's wrong.
Well, his conclusion was probably drawn to my lack of updating my MySpace. I believe on my MySpace, my job hasn't been updated for 6 years, so.
Okay. that
So
that makes sense,
he has come
but
to that conclusion through truthful means, but yeah, it's not up to date because of me.
okay, I'm still gonna go with he's wrong just because
Yeah. Well,
I want to
yes,
embarrass him.
Technically, he is wrong.
Let's see. Okay, 25 minutes in, good so far. It's about to go into overdrive. I don't know if they have that in Canada, but that's like better than regular drive.
I have it on my car, but I'm too afraid to turn it on, so I never touch it. But
I don't actually have a car, but
I've got a really piece of shit car. So one of my favorite thing. I'm not sure if I've got I know you're getting up there. You're like really getting up there with fans and stuff. But my favorite thing is still talking to people on MSN, like fans who actually think I'm rich and famous. And if they saw where I lived and what I drive, they'd be thoroughly disappointed.
I actually thought that for a very long time, but it eventually dawned on me that that's probably not the case.
Yeah.
But
If they don't really ask, I'll let them believe that and take joy in that. But if they ask straight out, I'll be honest.
do a lot of people just ask if you're rich? Like they're just like, hey, are you rich?
I think somebody asked how often I get recognized around town and stuff. And I had to let them know that it's only happened a handful of times. So.
I'm actually kind of sad in that even today this happened. I recognized somebody who is my friend on MySpace through my bands, but they don't actually know me, and I recognized them. They didn't recognize me, so I'm to the point where I recognize.
You, or was this more you looking at them from a bus?
We were in the same room, and we were within. I mean, like, we were in a room with like 100 people in it, and I saw them, and I was like, I know that person from the internet, and they didn't notice me. I don't think.
Is that why you had a bad day?
Actually, it is, but I'm not gonna get into it because it'll make me sound really, really weird.
Oh, go for it.
Well, like,
you can always edit it so it sounds like it's really awesome.
There is no real way that it's gonna sound really awesome. I'm pretty much just gonna sound like a stalker, no matter how you slice it, so.
Oh, if you work on it hard enough, I probably said enough words that, you can make me say some cool things.
I don't know. Basically, they don't go to the same school as me. I'm in high school, and they are also in high school, and I go to high school like away from my house. Like, I don't know if you have counties.
Most people do go to high school away from their house.
No, I mean like the school district. I'm in a different one than I'm supposed to be in. And
your commute to school is long.
Yeah, like I live farther away from school than I should, and she lives in the school district I'm supposed to be in. Like, she goes to school in it, and the school she goes to is like a 5-minute walk from my house. And I was like, it would be cool if we hung out, and then she just kind of rejected me, and I was like, that's awkward, because a lot of times when I approach people on the internet, I expect them to believe that I'm some huge rock star who really has 26,000 fans, and Occasionally they do, but not today.
Well, there's not much you can do about that. It doesn't get much better. Just letting you know. It doesn't get much better. So.
It's just, I don't know. It was a reality check. I just said it. I don't think they'll listen to this, but if they do, I'll be really embarrassed, because I mean, most people who listen to this have to be pretty fucking obsessed with me, because it's really shitty, to the point that I admit it's shitty to anybody who asks. And I don't know, I think a lot of people just had their world rocked by the fact that I could actually be turned down by a female.
Oh, don't worry. But here. That you actually, you reminded me of, you know the Uncle Outrage fun facts that were,
Yes, I do.
Yes. There is, soon I'm releasing, Fun Facts Volume 2, and you're talking about your school district reminded me of, one of the, I'll preview one of the new fun facts. It was, it's the fact that, when I was in grade 10, I went to a grade 10 different school than I went to 11 and 12. But anyway, when I was in grade 10, there was another kid in grade 10 named Nils Rasmussen, and he also lived 2 blocks away from me, and his dog had the same name as my dog. And like, I'm not lying. There was also a third Nils in the grade as well. So there were 3 Nilses in grade 10, 2 of which were Nils Rasmussen. And the whole year I was planning on, just for the fuck of it, I was planning on fighting him, like at the end of the year, just be like, fuck you, I'm Nils Rasmussen, right?
Yeah.
But he's a lot bigger than me, so I backed out of it.
See, it's funnier to me because in America, well, fuck it, I'm pretty sure Canada is like, I don't know. In the States, there
booster juice, it's pretty much the same thing.
Nils is not at all a common name. Like,
No, it's not here. No.
I don't know anybody names.
Besides grade 10, it's never come up again like this. So.
I thought it might be in Canada because like in Canada you get away with having some weird names like Devi. I don't think that'd be normal in the States. I don't know. If my last name was Rasmussen, people would probably think I was a terrorist. It's not good.
No. Most people here are named like Matt Johnson and stuff, or Carl Jones.
Carl Jones. It's a good name.
There, no misconceptions about. It's pretty much the same. In Vancouver though, there's like half the people there are Chinese.
That's
different.
That's awkward.
And the other thing that's different here is I noticed this a lot when a few times I've been to New York. I mean, not New York, to the States, was that a lot of the like the really, really poor people in the States are mostly Mexicans and blacks. Well, up here, like, there's no Mexicans at all. I think I've met a Mexican once, and blacks are well off, but the people who are always the beggars on the side of the street are natives. So
that's really weird. Cause like
that's one of the main differences.
We have all the reservations, which I don't know if you've ever seen anything about Indian reservations, but they make them seem really cool and like the Indians are really nice. But if you ever actually drive through a reservation, they're not the Indians do not live in nice houses. They are not nice people. Usually it's like really dark no matter what time of day it is. Like, we drove through at like 3 p.m. and it looked like it was about to become nighttime, and there was like lightning even though it wasn't raining or anything, and there were just every
a sudden darkness. Yeah.
Every couple.
Mugged a few years back by a native guy here too.
You got mugged?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got mugged at night point.
I feel like this reflects negatively upon my podcast because Mike Devo was on here and he was also very racist, and now we're discrediting the Indians as a race.
I'll stop you there. There's nothing wrong with being native. It's just what you do with it. That's all.
I'll accept that. But like, whenever somebody is on and they say something racist, I rarely ever disagree, and I usually agree. And
yeah.
It's just, it's bad. I've used some racial slurs in a bro way before in songs, and I'm just afraid somebody will come up to me with like audio logs of all the podcasts where I say racist things and then just play them back and punch me in the face, which is kind of racist to say in itself. But moving on.
Yes.
Let's see. Do you have any sort of hobby besides creating? Besides creation, do you have any hobbies?
Besides creation, well, I'll preface that with with me not having a job, basically me working on Outrage stuff is what I'd consider my job. But like I spend about 10 hours a day. Like, I try to be my own boss, so I'm doing about 10 hours a day working on music. And basically when I'm not doing that, I'll either be I'll go play Mario Party or have a bubbled bath. I also enjoy let's see, hockey. And let's see. Oh, this is making me feel kind of sad. I don't do that much. I drive. There's something else that I do. But anyway, that's about it.
Okay.
Oh, and I talk to people. That's another hobby.
Yeah, that is a hobby. That's a good hobby to have.
When I was a young lad, I used to collect hockey cards.
That's also a hobby.
I also used to have like really hardcore not AC/DC, ADD. It'd be awesome if I had hardcore AC/DC. Actually, no, they suck. Fuck that. Yeah, I had not ADD. What am I talking about? OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. That's like why my songs are so short in the first place. I get really tired of them in the first place, and I've got musical aids. Anyways, and what I did was, as a child, I actually created a 300 plus person hockey league, and I kept track of the statistics of every single player, and I would write this out and update the games that went on in my head every single day. And I still have to date the stacks and stacks and stacks like that. I'm not joking. It's probably about 4 inches high of just single pieces of paper of made up, completely made up, useless random statistics from a hockey league that I made. Oh, and there were dinosaurs that played hockey, by the way.
You should definitely make an album cover of you sitting in that pile of paper.
It's just
Still, it would be an impressive album cover because people would know what it was because of this podcast. I'm gonna put that much importance on this podcast that people would have heard this before it was an album cover, and they'd be like, I know exactly what that is, and I'm really impressed, and that's really profound.
They'd be the insiders. The other thing that I do is I collect Perrier caps, and I did actually have the idea of using this as a not as a fucking podcast, as an album cover, where what I did one day was I've amassed so many Perrier caps that I took a bath in them.
What is a Perrier cap? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but...
Well, yeah, you know what Perrier is, right?
No.
They do have Perrier in the States, I'm sure of it.
They might, but I have no idea what it is.
It's basically carbonated water from France. They refer to it in that Ricky Bobby movie with Will Ferrell or whatever.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. It's just...
Sacha Cobain, whatever the hell his name is. His company is sponsored by Perrier. But anyways, the caps are it's a glass bottle and they have a cap, and I collect the caps after I'm done drinking. I used to drink like 4 or 5 bottles a day, so I took a bunch of pictures of me having a bath in nothing but Perrier caps, like no water. I could fill the bathtub with Perrier caps, and yeah, it was me inside it. I was gonna send it to Perrier, the company, hoping to get like free Perrier, but it just never, and I'd never gotten around to it.
You should do that.
Yes.
It would. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I don't think they'd be at all offended by you bathing in the caps of their products.
Besides free Perrier, I was also hoping that they might even want me as a spokesman, perhaps. Like, look at this man who drinks so much Perrier, he can bathe in the caps.
You might be onto something. That could, I mean...
But nowadays you can do that computer-generatedly, so...
But they might just trust you. I mean, if you were devoted enough to come up with the concept of a man taking a bath in those caps, even if you did computer-generate it, it's still a pretty good idea.
Okay, well, I might try and... I'll get some better photographs because they didn't turn out that great, but maybe I'll keep that in mind.
You should mail them that and then a song and be like, make a commercial and put this song in it and see if they do it.
I love Perrier. That's not a bad idea.
It could be a Ramones cover, and it could just be like 24 hours a day. I want to drink Perrier.
I like the idea, except for the Ramones part.
Oh, I hate the Ramones, but
I really, really, really hate them.
They would, I'm sure, connect with the fact that it's a really overplayed song, and that usually makes a hit commercial if you put an overplayed song in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Oh, I meant to ask you this like 30 minutes ago when you were actually talking about it, but would you recommend that someone such as myself pursue audio engineering school? Because I was thinking about it, but I'm not sure.
That's like at the time when I was going there, that's what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I basically, if I'm gonna put as much of my energy into Uncle Outrage as I can, and if it doesn't pan out, then it doesn't, right? Like, then I'll at least grow old and know that I tried my best, and then I could fall back on opening a recording studio, right? But after, like, going to the recording school did teach me enough to save money on so that I could record my own albums. But in order to open a really good recording studio that people will actually go to, you need at least $50,000 to start with. And I don't have that kind of money to invest in something like that. recording studios are like run by one or two people. You can't just like go to the school and then apply for jobs at recording studios, because it's like their shit. They don't need you, right? So I recommend going to it if you want to use it for your own learning experience, and like to save money on recording and mixing and all that. But I wouldn't recommend trying to go the studio route.
Okay.
It's just too expensive.
All right. That was pretty much the answer I was looking for. I mean, not that I expected you to say that particularly, but that was what I was at. That's what I wanted to know.
I actually answered what you asked. Yes.
Yes, I was on the fence about it. I'm not gonna say that swayed my decision, but it might have.
Well, it's like, I'm glad I went there. It cost a little more than I would have liked to have paid, and I learned like a lot. You can hear it, like if you listen to my old recordings compared to the new stuff, you can see what I learned. But because I like record and mix it all myself. But besides that, I don't really have much to show for it besides a plaque where they actually spelled certificate wrong.
Ouch.
Yes. So it's not great to show around.
Let's see. Was there ever I know you just said there was a time when you wanted to do the whole studio thing, but was there ever a time you wanted to do something other than music?
Like a time in my life? I guess yes, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, after high school, I was still doing the Uncle Outrage thing, but it was like just a hobby. Even though it was popular, it was still a hobby, and then I would play shows on the weekend and stuff. And I went to university for 1 year for biological sciences, where I eventually wanted to become a plastic surgeon. But university was just so gay and depressing. It was, I couldn't do it, so.
So, there, in an alternate universe, you could have been a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
Okay.
But I decided to drop out and make silly music.
I'm gonna steal that general concept, and I'm gonna make a song about it.
To add to that, the other Nils Rasmussen was also going to the university at the same time as I was, taking the same classes that I was, so that when I did drop out, they accidentally dropped him out, and they had to call me back a week later to sign all these papers to fix their error.
That's okay. I feel like this is all like super interesting.
Just a fun addition to the story.
Like, I think it's time to tell jokes.
Oh, if you're gonna play a song, you can use this. You can use me saying, "Hey, here's a song," and then you can play a song.
I actually wasn't planning on putting that in, but if you want me to play a song, I will. But you're gonna have to tell me what song.
But I mean, you can cut that together, or you could say, or it'd be like, "Hey, welcome to the podcast," and then you could put that at the start of the podcast.
I hate to like ruin your concept that this is at all like an effort, but it's really I'm recording this in Audacity right now, and I still haven't figured out how to get the microphone to properly record in 2 channels. so it's mono, and then I just split it into stereo so that it comes the same no matter what. Like it's stereo, but it's the same thing on both sides. It's really.
Well, I could show you how to fix that if I was there, but.
Well, I mean, if you were here, just think about what happened. But let's see. Yeah. So jokes. Tell jokes right now. Minimum of 20 jokes.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
I asked you greatest album of all time, so.
Jokes. Let's see. Oh, wait, I know one joke. Just a second. What is it that only giraffes have? Like, out of any animal on the planet, what is the one thing that only giraffes have?
What?
Well, let me guess, come on. What is it that only giraffes have? Don't look it up on the internet to find the answer.
I'm not. You would hear me typing because it's a very crowded setup. Long necks. I don't know.
What do only giraffes have?
Long necks.
No. Baby giraffes.
Oh my god.
I would use that a lot as in between stage banter, so in between song banter, so you can steal that. Feel free.
Oh, it wasn't even a very good joke. The build-up was just really good. You're like, come on, guess. I'm so sampling "Come On, Guess" in a song. I'm not gonna credit you for it.
So that's fine.
But I mean, this is the most important 52-minute podcast ever, so I'm sure everybody will know where I took it.
Well, thank you.
So, shit. Okay. We're gonna flip it 360 degrees. I'm pretty sure that's not the correct number of degrees, but you're gonna ask me questions now. I hope you have some prepared.
Wait, I'm gonna ask you questions?
Yeah, you're gonna interview me, cause yeah.
Okay. I do not have questions prepared, but I'll try to use what I've learned in my life to ask questions. Which program do you use to record?
Oh,
and then I'm assuming you'll say Fruity Loops, and then I'll rip into you.
Yeah, actually, but I'm gonna stop you and say that for a very long time, approximately 3 months out of my now year-long career,
Yes.
I rewired Reason into FL Studio because
You rewired Reason into what?
into FL Studio because I wanted to sound exactly like you and Mr. Mike Diva.
What you gotta do is just use Reason just all on its own. Like, fuck Rewire, fuck all that shit. Just pure Reason.
You have to let me finish the anecdote, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Okay. I'll let you finish.
See, I wanted to be just like you and also Mike Diva. I kind of wanted to be like both of you guys at the same time. Picture how much money that would make. But, so, the problem with this was, generally, and still to this day, I'm entirely too stupid to figure out Reason. So I was just like, I'll just use it with FL Studio's interface, and it worked out pretty well, but generally it doesn't sound really any different at all. It's just harder to mix.
Well, no, personally, the stuff I've heard from yours, I actually like. I'm not not just saying that to like be like a I'm not just saying like that to be nice. Like I do like what I've heard from you, but once you like it took me about 3 months to really learn Reason, and there was about a period of about a year when I was phasing out of using silly keyboards and into Reason, where Uncle Outrage really sucked, and like basically I just had to keep tracking through that, because once you learn Reason like inside and out, you can make any sound you want and have it do anything you want.
Well, you see, I get a lot of shit for this, and I can understand why, but I'm just the kind of person where if somebody is taking the time to make a sound and make it sound really good, and I'm a particularly lazy individual, I just think it's kind of a service to them to use their sound, because they obviously made it for me to use and make money off of. So I would just feel bad not doing it. So why would I make my own sounds when other people have spent a good chunk of their time making really good sounds that I can use, and I'm sure they did it just so I would make money off of it and not them.
I understand, yes.
It's called the broken side approach. Not a lot of people have heard of it.
I admit I have used drum loops in the past.
Oh, I don't use loops. I just use...
I have used drum loops in the past, mainly just, I can't remember which song it was. I used a techno loop where it was just... Like, I just wanted a really generic techno sound, so... I don't understand where you're coming from, but...
I don't actually use loops, but I do, in just about every song, just do kick, snare, snare over and over again.
Ah, yes, kick. My favorite is kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that's any different from what I've just said, but
No, you said kick, snare, snare. Like yours would be like... Right?
This is gonna sound
Right?
This is gonna sound so good because I'm just holding my cell phone up to the microphone on speaker, and you're just like blowing air into the phone.
Don't, like, I've tried to sample, I can't beatbox to start with, but I tried to do, like, the Justin Timberlake thing where, like, I recorded myself, like, doing a good bass drum and stuff, and then tried to make it all fat, but it was disastrous. So just to save you some time, don't even bother.
Okay,
Only Justin Timberlake can do it.
I decided, I don't remember when I decided this, or why I decided this, but at some point, I decided I had to have, like, one question that was gonna make you genuinely mad, and, after looking over the Chemical Man MIDI for, several thousand years, because, I can't really figure out what I'm gonna do with that, I gave it to, Vince from Intergalactic... Oh, fuck. They changed their name. I don't know what the fuck they're called now. But he wanted it, and I was like, there you go.
Wait, is it the Intergalactic Ghetto Blasters changed their name?
Their MySpace says Space Dogs now. I don't know.
Oh.
But, yeah, so I've looked at Chemical Man extensively, just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that, if I do anything with that, which hopefully I will, but...
Why is this supposed to make me mad?
I'm gonna ask you why you hate it so much, and I'm hoping that you'll just think about it so much that you'll get really fucking mad.
So the question, you're just asking why I hate Chemical Man?
Yeah, 'cause you're like, that's my least favorite Uncle Outrage song, and I always just pictured in my mind, if somebody asked you why you hated it so much, there's like a secret reason.
I get asked that all the time. I'm sorry to let you down. It's like it basically, the music I really like. I think all the background music is great. I think the lyrics sound like they're written by like an angsty 13-year-old girl.
Is that the only reason?
That's the only reason.
I was really hoping for like a really dramatic freak out, and you sincerely let me down.
We're like, no. I've come to accept. I used to be really pissed off at that song. Like, had you phoned like 2.5 years ago when we wanted to talk about it, I would have been like, no, I don't want to talk about fuck that. Like for actually a good almost a year, I was pretty much pretending that song didn't exist, or I was trying to hide it on the internet that it existed.
I actually do that. Actually, I don't think there's a CD that I've put out where I don't pretend it doesn't exist. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. I've put out like 2 actual releases, and the only time I acknowledge them is when I want people to look at my music and say, wow, you've really improved. And I show them that, and they don't say that, and it makes me feel really bad, because my first CD was fucking terrible. And then there's an EP that I made, like, the first, like, there was just some day, and I don't even fucking know why, but it was like 10 days before school started, and I was like, I should start a band. And I made all the tracks in, I want to say, a weekend.
That's just basically, if you know the story, like in the Fun Facts from Understanding Love, that's the best way to make an album, is to try and do it all in 1 week.
But it was before I had any knowledge of anything. I didn't really.
Guitar or piano or anything?
I currently don't play any instruments. I can play power chords on guitar, limitedly. Okay. Up until recently, actually, I was gonna. There was like a time when I decided that the songs needed real guitar instead of FL Slayer and the Reason guitar patch that.
It's terrible. Yes.
No, it's good. It's good if you amplify it. It sounds great. Sounds amazing.
No. Okay, well, anyways, I won't argue, but yes.
Yeah, but you see, I own 2 guitars. One of them is black, and it's really generic, and I hate it.
I own 3 guitars.
And the other one is white, and it's really badass, and I was like, I'll use that. But it was missing a couple of strings, and I rarely ever leave the house. And my mom had this acoustic guitar sitting downstairs, and I took the strings out of it, and I'm 17 years old. I guess I'm not the smartest person alive that is currently the age of 17. I put nylon strings on an electric guitar.
Yes.
And for several weeks, I tried to play it and record it and put it in songs. And there are songs that exist that are officially, there's a song that I actually put out with me playing on nylon strings, and it sounds terrible. And so yeah, guitar, it's becoming more prominent, but way back then, I was actually vehemently against using a guitar because I thought I would look a lot cooler if my band had no instruments.
That's when I very first started out, like, very, like when I was just starting to make music, my intention was to make music that didn't have notes or a time signature or any instruments as well or vocals. I just wanted it to be sort of clicks and noises that didn't follow any pattern. That's what I originally intended to set out to do. Not to be artistic or anything, I just wanted to see how, if I could, like, take the term music and then, like, stretch it as far out into the boundary as I could.
I want to say I was kind of like that, so I'll sound cool, but it was really just like I would make up one sample of clicks and such, and like a synth line that wasn't in any sort of key or anything, and then I would repeat it for about a minute and just do whatever over it, and that's a start. Those tracks are still available. It's actually called the Ellen Page album. We discussed this roughly an hour ago. I'm currently working on another one called the Other Ellen Page album, because I feel like if a famous person such as Ellen Page ever discovered my music, and for whatever reason they had enough free time not making movies to somehow get my entire discography, and they heard that album, which was devoted to them, that was fucking a joke, they would get really mad. So I decided recently that I have to, like, make it up to Ellen Page, even though she'll never really know that I exist. I have to make it up to her for ruining her name by putting it on a really shitty album.
Not currently, about a year ago, there was a band in Edmonton called Metallica who got sued by Metallica.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, because Metallica is like a bunch of douchebags about suing people.
Yeah, but they actually sued a shitty little local band that was also named Metallica. And it was a shame because it was hilarious, because they would say, like, this next song is called, I'm not a Metallica fan, like, this next song's called Battery, and then they would just play their own song. So,
that's...
even regardless of whether I liked the music or not, it was really funny. So,
I think I'm
hoping to achieve getting sued one day, but...
Oh, that does bring me to a question that I don't know how I had all these questions, and within the first 20 minutes I forgot all of them, but I'm looking for an actual answer here. You can't just say something like, if you ever find out, I'll suck your dick. You have to actually answer. Where does the name Uncle Outrage come from?
You're gonna be, well, it's a lot, it's not very exciting or anything. Are you sure you want to know? It's not an interesting anecdote.
Well, I mean, my band is just, let's see, The Electric from Electric Dragon, Suicide from 8-Bit Suicide, and originally it was going to be Electric Suicide Attack, but I asked this chick that I was in love with via the internet whether Electric Suicide Attack or Electric Suicide Method sounded better, and she decided Method. So yeah, my band name is pretty much stolen from 2 or 3 different bands, so your story has to be better than mine.
Okay, well, in grade 9, I invented a game called the Uncle Wizard game, where basically you can open the dictionary to any page, and whatever word you'll find, it'll be funny either with uncle before it or wizard after it. And I was just flipping through the dictionary, and I thought Uncle Outrage had I thought it was like a terrible name for a band, but also had a catchy ring to it, so I decided to use that.
All right.
It was either that or Big Metal Cube, which is a completely different story, but
it is kind of a letdown, but
yeah,
it's original, so I'll give you credit.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Nope, no problem.
I remember the first time our local everybody on Uncle Outrage, all they wrote about, that they did this long interview, like 45-minute long interview with us and the whole band, and had like a photo shoot, and the whole article ended up being about how much we hate the name Uncle Outrage and how we don't like our fans. And I was so pissed off because there was so much good shit that they could have taken, and then they just took like the stuff that made us look like the biggest assholes ever. And just, anyways,
they should have just printed your giraffe joke.
That's not even mine. I heard it on like Sesame Street or something.
I don't give a shit. I'm telling that tomorrow. I'm gonna use that to pick up chicks, and
oh, good. Yeah, girls find that joke adorable.
I'm gonna tell that to every single person I know.
That joke is a chick magnet.
I mean, I'm gonna have to listen to this several times in a row.
They don't laugh. They'll go, aww.
I gotta listen to it several times in a row so I can memorize the exact way you set the joke up, because I'm pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to set it up, but it was classic. Also,
but anyway, I got about 10 more minutes.
all right,
So
10.
Is there anything left?
You know,
Like anything left that you're keen on finding out?
fuck.
I'm assuming you're just gonna cut this up and take the good stuff, but
No. I'm not.
well then.
There's an interview where, if you know MC Snack Time,
Yes.
I interviewed him, just like on a whim. It wasn't really like a big deal, but then I ended up talking to him for like an hour and a half, and I uploaded it unedited, and no one listened to it, so I can't really edit this after having done that.
Well, if no, you gotta shorten it down and like keep put your best foot forward. Only like cut off the gristle. Keep the good stuff.
I think people should have to suffer through it just to hear that giraffe joke. Like that's a gem. That's a real gem.
You could just put that at the very start of the podcast.
I could, but I'm not going to, because then there would be no reason to listen until the end.
Well, okay.
So closing remarks. Anything like in particular that you would like to say to the 3 people who are still listening to this right now?
Well, if there's people who are still listening to this and it hasn't been edited all the way through, you are truly the finest of the fine bunch of fans, and you're better than the other fans.
Okay, final question. See, I'm sneaking it in at the end so no one will see me embarrass myself. I don't...
What, sir?
I don't know if I've asked somebody else this before. It seems like I have, but then again, I don't interview a whole lot of musicians that I really respect enough to care. But when can we expect like a track with myself and yourself both featured prominently? Prominently.
Oh, well, we can work on setting that up. I'm doing like with the new CD, the Best Before Uncle Outrage album that's coming up soon. I've got 2 tracks with Gregorius, or Triple G from Gonna Get Got, and basically that's made me want to work on way more collaborations. So I've got in the works plans to work with MC Snack Time, Richie from Squidgy, Stop King James. Gonna get got is asking me to make more material for him to use, and adding you on the list would be a pleasure.
All right. I can't believe that actually worked, but thank you nonetheless.
Yeah, I seriously, all I do from waking up to basically my job is just making beats and then just not either finishing them or not knowing what to do with them. So I probably have about 30 tracks sitting around that are just half finished that I would love for other people to show it to them and then just be like, what do you think I should do with this? So having other people help finish shit for me is an awesome idea. So
send me all of them. I will ruin them completely.
I think already got first dibs on most of them, but
I mean, it could happen. I'll
see what I can do. Right now I'm the amount that I'm busy trying to finish this new Outrage CD is insane. The way I work is instead of working on one song at a time, I work on about 10. So as soon as I get tired or frustrated with one song, I've got something immediately to switch over to. But that also makes it so that I'm constantly busy. So
I'm gonna steal that technique because I'm gonna steal that technique of doing multiple songs at once, because I usually do one at a time and I always get really mad. And
yeah, the thing with doing a song one at a time is that I've done that before, and at the end of the song, usually you don't even know if it's good anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal your technique. Better copy you.
I guarantee that it works better.
In a couple of weeks, hopefully I'll sound exactly like you. Yeah.
Well, thanks, and I hope you do.
You hope I sound exactly like you?
Well, I guess that'd be nice.
All right.
Except you can sing better. So you can sound like Uncle Outrage, but then the singing would be less annoying.
I'm very confused by what you just said. I don't know if you're giving me permission to sing better. I don't really know what you mean.
Just whatever you want to me.
Alright, you heard it here first. Electric Suicide Method, best singer of all time. Thank you for your hour and 20 minutes or so, Mr. Shit. I don't know, I can't think of something funny to call you. You can do that yourself.
I want to make a gimlet. Nils, I'm on a podcast.
Alright. I'm really bad at ending these, if you wanna...
Okay, you want me to end it for you?
Yeah, sure.
Bye, everybody. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. I won't be here, but thank you.
Oh, I forgot to mention.
It started off really good, but
I forgot to mention this is actually the final one because like I've pretty much reached the pinnacle of people that I need to interview to feel relevant. Like I'm pretty sure I got everybody.
You got everybody. Okay, like trading cards.
Well, like the whole purpose of
cards.
the ESM cast was just for me to have an excuse to call people that I heavily idolize and then just like bullshit them on the phone for a long ass amount of time. And Jimmy Urine currently will not return my phone calls. If anybody wants to help me get back in good graces with him, let me know. But yeah, I've got everybody.
I've only talked to him twice. Once he was nice to me, once he wasn't.
I called him and told him my band was better than his band, so me and him we're not really a thing anymore. But that aside, everybody else is checked off the list. Nils, I'm pretty sure you're at the top, so this has to be the final episode.
Well, that blows my mind, so, well, thank you very, very much.
Okay, goodbye.
I can't believe I'm at the top of any list, so thank you. And thanks to anybody who kept listening through all of this.
Yeah.
Sound good?
It sounds good. Goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
You email me.
Email you what?
Oh, just email me when this is up.
Can I just message you
and
on...
then, if you put in commercials when you're editing, be like, Nils says, buy his new CD.
I'll just leave that in there at the end.
Okay.
Cause I'm
Buy
really...
my new CD.
Yeah, okay.
I said it was gonna be out around Halloween, but it's not.
That's okay.
I'm late on everything.
That's...
Okay, but anyways, yeah.
Thank
very
you.
Good talk. Very nice talking to you.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Wait, one thing as payment for the amazing privilege to talk to me. Would you be able to research? Last night I wrote this out on my hand, and I'm wondering, would somebody be able to survive only by drinking human blood?
Well, it just so happens.
So if you can give me an answer from that within the week, then
I can give you an answer right now, right now. There's a book on my shelf. It's called I believe it's called The Science of Vampires. I'm very interested in Twilight, so I had to buy that to know if there's really a possibility that I could ever have a feminine, vampire-ish 17-year-old boy lust after me. And so I actually have researched the topic quite heavily, and it is quite possible for someone to live only on a diet of blood. If you don't believe me, you can probably go on Amazon and look for...
No, if you have a book, then that says that I'm completely satisfied and happy.
Alright, nobody's listening right now, but if you are, Vampire Holocaust...
I'm completely satisfied at the end of the night.
Vampire Holocaust, watch out, it's coming. New hardcore band. Goodbye, thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Okay. No jokes, this is really the last one. I'm sure you're still listening to this now that Nils is no longer even in the equation. This is a final... Like, seriously, there's nowhere to go from here. Where can you go? Nowhere to go but up, and when you reach the top, you're just looking down. So, I'll leave you with that moment of... Fuck it. Goodbye.